Hi, my name is George.
And my name is Evie.
And this is the Hayes School BBC News Report, coming directly to you from Hayes School.
Today we are covering many stories for you, from science to sport to technology.
Our first story is by Owen, Ben and Joe.
Their story is about very intelligent dogs who can sniff out cancer and diabetes.
Thank you, Evie and George. In many family homes across the globe, dogs provide comfort and support. However, few of us know the true abilities of our canine companions. Dogs have been our faithful friends since Egyptian times. Through to World War II, in more recent times, we have used dogs in our police forces and for search and rescue. Dogs can change our lives, but now dogs can also save them.
This month, dogs are being trained to help people spot health problems such as cancer and diabetes. This training is occurring at different NHS centres across the UK, and it helps people to understand the use of dogs and how they can help us with our health-related issues. This was all started by the Medical Dedication Dog Charity, who were founded in 2011.
Thanks, Joe. Scientists have discovered that trained detection dogs have a success rate of more than 90% of sniffing out medical problems. The whole process uses the dog's sensitive nose to detect cancer in urine samples and blood sugar levels. A teacher at Hayes School said that I'd rather rely on a dog to detect cancer than rely on technology that could malfunction.
I really think this in the future could have a really good help us, and I hope the government will fund this and dogs can help us more in the future.
To Owen to speak to a science teacher at Hayes School. If you had cancer, is this the way you would like to know?
I think so, yeah, because normally dogs can actually detect the cancer before doctors know that you're sick, or before you have a scan, or before you have any symptoms. So there's more likely that they'll be able to treat the cancer without you dying or having any long-term side effects. So it'll be much better.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You can apply for in the Medical Detection Dogs Charity. This process of detecting cancer by dogs in the future is unclear.
Could dogs get government funding in the future?
And how can we help in the funding? This is Ben,
Job,
signing out. What do you think about dogs being able to sniff out cancer?
I think that would be very good for future generations, and it's better because you don't have to waste all this money on like high-tech machinery. You can just use dogs for like animals.
I can't wait to see how these amazing dogs can save us all in the near future. Our next story is by Poppy, Zoe and Eloise. Their group story is about how young children who are not vaccinated are receiving limited childcare options. Their piece looks at how Australia is attempting to ban children who haven't been vaccinated from preschool and childcare centres.
Thank you, George. Vaccinations are a serious subject around the world, and today we are focusing on a new ban in Australia that is preventing children from accessing childcare centres and even preschools when they haven't been vaccinated from whooping cough and measles.
In spring 2015, there was a measles outbreak in California from which one person died. This was the first person in 12 years to die from this disease in America. This was supposedly caused by tourists lacking the appropriate vaccinations.
A child health poll in Australia of 2,000 people showed that only 5% of children were not vaccinated. This has come to the attention of the Australian government, with Mr Turnbull saying, "If a parent says, 'I'm not going to vaccinate my child,' they are not simply putting their child at risk, but everyone else's child too."
Many parents do not want their children to be vaccinated for many reasons. One of the main reasons being the vaccinations are said to cause autism. This is playing a huge part in parents not wanting their children to be vaccinated against whooping cough and measles. However, this statement has been proved wrong by scientists.
In Australia, the states of Queensland, New South Wales and Victoria have already enforced the ban on unvaccinated children. The Australian government are trying to invoke this ban on the rest of the country. However, most parents are not happy with this. Myself and Zoe are with student Daisy, a budding future nurse or midwife, to ask her about her views on this subject. I understand you want to be a midwife or nurse when you're older.
So what are your views on vaccinations? Do you feel they're positive or negative?
I think vaccinations are positive because it not only keeps the child safe and free from disease, but also the children around them.
We're doing a report on Australia. They are currently proposing a ban preventing unvaccinated children from childcare centres and preschools.
What are your opinions on this ban? Do you think it's a good idea or not a good idea?
I do think it is a good idea. This is because it keeps all children safe and free from disease. However, it is a bad idea as children unable to access the vaccinations are restricted from education.
Stop! Has your child been vaccinated?
Not yet.
Well, I'm sorry, you cannot enter this preschool. It's against the law.
But she's old enough, she needs an education.
You can't come in. Has your child been vaccinated?
Yeah, right this way. Thank you.
At the moment, only 3 states have this ban in place, but this number is expected to rise as the government's plan is to implement this law throughout the whole country.
I hope parents listen to this story and get their kids vaccinated. Our third story is by Tani, Lauren, Frankie and Daisy. They have decided to talk about how women footballers are still struggling to gain the same rights as their male counterparts. Females are still paid and treated very differently to male footballers.
Welcome to the BBC News Report. My name is Frankie and today I'm going to be talking about equality in women's football. Football is one of the biggest sports in the world, especially in the UK. However, women's football is talked about less and overall much less popular. On the other hand, male footballers are paid much more, broadcasted more and even treated better. On the 12th of December 2016, statements from the FA were released suggesting that things such as female footballers should be given a pink whistle, colourful bibs that smell nice and music during their matches. These comments caused controversy and received backlash from the women's football community with a wide range of people stating these suggestions were sexist. The FA defended themselves with a spokesperson saying the FA are committed to doubling the female football participation by 2020. We caught up with some experienced football players and managers and asked them about questions how they feel towards this subject.
Do you think women's football is appreciated as much as men's? What is your opinion on this issue?
I don't think women's football is appreciated enough as men's, and I don't think that it will ever be as appreciated. However, I think that schools such as Hayes School give girls a really good opportunity to try and enhance how we play and to defeat the stereotype of this. And I think that it's becoming more and more common and people are understanding that women's football can be just as good as men's, and it's a very interesting thing to watch.
Do you think women's football is appreciated as much as men's? What is your opinion on this issue?
No, I don't think that generally it is appreciated as much as men's, although it is more up and coming. I think since the last World Cup it's been appreciated more and it's been shown on TV a little bit more, but generally media coverage hasn't helped support it so much, and so no, I wouldn't say that it is supported as much as men's.
Thank you.
The real question is, will this really happen or will male football forever dominate women's football?
That's interesting. My sister plays football at a semi-professional level. The next story here is by Harry, Nathan and Reese. They have created a report around the problem with the new technology in 2007.
Thank you, Evie and George. Recently there have been reports about how some of the newest gadgets on the market are causing real concern. Drones are injuring people, the new Nintendo Switch is malfunctioning, and the Amazon Alexa is allowing a 3-year-old to order a new dollhouse. This report looks to investigate some of these incidents and explore the wider concerns of technology in 2017. Drones first came into use after World War II as the military planned to use them as aerial torpedoes in the battlefield. However, now they are being used for celebration and entertainment, which is causing problems, as whilst flying these drones have been known to lose power and therefore fall out of the sky, which has been known to injure people. One example is when a photographer, Georgine Bevenuto, was hit in the face by a mistletoe carrying drone at TGI Friday. Georgine had the end of her nose sliced off, with the drone then getting caught in her hair, which could have potentially took out her eye. This is just one example of how drones have been known to cause problems. Another problem is the Nintendo Switch, which is a console comprised of a portable tablet-like device with a docking station designed to go wherever you go, transforming from a home console to a portable system. This console has caused many customers to complain. One reason for this is that the controllers are failing to connect. The company said that it could be caused by wireless interference and then suggesting that gamers sat closer to the console, although this is still a problem. Another reason for this is that some players have complained about their screens containing dead pixels that are creating black squares. Also, gamers are told that the Switch console should be out in the open and not behind the TV, in or under a metal object or near an aquarium, because this affects play. It is also affected by how close users sit to the TV. Now on to our last subject, the Amazon Alexa, which is an intelligent personal assistant capable of doing lots of jobs, including voice interaction and music playback. However, this causes problems as because it's connected to the Amazon website and children have been ordering goods and toys, which is getting to an expensive rate. We will now go to Nathan, who is interviewing Aidan from Hayes.
What do you think about tech?
Well, I think it's excellent because it's changed our lives so much.
What do you think about the problems with the Nintendo Switch, like dead pixels and remote controller problems?
I heard that one of their games was actually too big for the console.
Now a girl from Hayes School called Megan has given her opinion. She said, "I like technology, so I normally do not worry about these problems. I know that technology is a hard process to make, so I just let it go."
Kids need to start paying less attention to technology and more to real life, as our last story is by Ninka, Megan and Molly, who have written about Donald Trump and the gun wars in the USA, and the people putting up a petition to stop him coming to the UK.
Hello. As some of you may know, Donald Trump became the 45th President of the United States of America after months of political controversy from both Democrats and Republicans.
A factor to the many thoughts and opinions on Trump are his proposals when elected, including views on gun laws.
Many believe in the US that carrying a gun is a defensive and a personal right, whereas others feel holding such weapon promotes violence and other antisocial behaviour. This urge is backed by the many school shootings American schools have suffered over the last few decades, resulting in roughly 300 deaths since 1980.
Since such events, the US state of South Dakota has enacted a law allowing school districts to arm teachers and other school staff. The backers of this regulation have said it will prevent mass school shootings, like the December massacre in Connecticut that killed 26.
Trump, as quoted, believes the issue is not guns but mental health. This dynamic is one of many beliefs that shootings are influenced by video games, promoting violence and the supposedly loose security around the carrying of weapons. Trump's beliefs include no limits on guns, they save lives and gun violence is inevitable, regulations won't help. We will now go to Hayes School, where we have been investigating what people think about Trump's gun laws and his upcoming state visit.
What most worries you about Trump's gun laws?
I think I'm most worried about crime going up in America because at the minute there is a lot of crime going on anyway, so there being guns could also make Americans feel a lot less safe.
Have you signed the petition against Trump's visit to England? If so, why? Or if not, why not?
No, I haven't, and the reason for that is that I'm aware of his recent ban on people from Muslim countries, or predominantly Muslim countries, from entering the US, and I just feel like that's not something that we should stoop to.
Well,
I think that
So, as many people are wondering, what will happen now President Donald Trump is in charge? And should the UK be concerned with this impending state visit that so many of us have petitioned against?
Will the US become deep in gun violence, or will their crime rate go up?
However, we know one thing for sure, that when Donald Trump does make his state visit to the UK, it's going to be a very eventful time. Thank you.
And here is Taylor with the BBC News weather for the rest of the week.
Hello, today we have managed high temperatures of 12 degrees across Bromley, and it will be dry for most of the day, but unfortunately it is the last of our hot weather, as things will be changing over the next few days as it will turn much cooler. Tonight rain may be possible in the early part of the night, however it will be dry by morning. Tomorrow low temperatures in the morning rise to 11 degrees, similar to today's weather. Back to you, Georgie.
Thanks, Taylor, for the weather update. It looks like we are in for a beautiful day. That's it for now. Thank you so much for watching, and bye for now.